If the governors desire my removal, I will, of course, step aside. However, you will find that help will always be given at Hogwarts to those who ask for it.
Hello and welcome to Harry Potter, the official film podcast, as we work our way through the entire film series, one spell at a time. I'm Rhianna Dhillon, lifelong Harry Potter superfan, film critic, and a proud Slytherin. I sleep in a Slytherin keeper nightie with a little Lego Draco watching over me at night. It's not creepy, I promise. We're making our way through the entire series, and you can watch every film along with us on HBO Max. Today, we're diving into the second half of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. By my side again, the Helga to my Salazar, as we make our way to the chamber, is producer and gaming personality Naomi Kyle. Hi again, Naomi.
Hello.
Thank
How
you for
doing?
coming back.
Yeah, happy to be back.
We didn't scare you off.
No, I stuck close by so I could quickly run back to the stage.
Now, I know that obviously you love Harry Potter, but do you remember like a moment where you thought, oh, the film series is so important to me?
Yeah, I think it was this movie actually, where
really?
I was a very shy kid and I didn't really have a lot of friends starting high school, and so I felt like this was the second movie. By the time I had watched the first one, I felt like I could really connect to the characters, and I really became interested in acting because they were kind of the same age as me and they were doing such a good job. And I was like, maybe I'll do something on camera. I don't know. That was just my thought. Like, maybe I'll just go on adventures and see if I can do something like that as a career. But it evolved into what it is now, which I'm really happy with. But yeah, it became a thing from that. And just the films are so amazing. They're so amazing. It's really hard to describe sometimes how much they had an impact on me.
I guess also as a gamer though, like that is going on adventures.
All the time.
Like all the time.
Constantly.
Quests, left, right and centre.
Every time, and following a story. It's the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you really did like find something that was akin to this. It couldn't be this.
It was the first time I had the idea of like, I'm going to maybe want to do this for a living or something in the creative arts.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we pick up as Harry is called into Dumbledore's office for yet another please explain yourself kind of meeting. But first he gets bullied by a hat.
Be in your bonnet, Potter.
I was just wondering if you put me in the right house.
Yes, you were particularly difficult to place. But I stand by what I said last year. You would have done well in Slytherin.
You're wrong.
I feel like poor Harry's having such an identity crisis at this point.
Always being told you should have been Slytherin or you would have done well in Slytherin.
Yeah. I know. I would have been so much more like aggressive about it than him. You're wrong.
Yeah.
No, he's like, you're wrong. But he's still like feeling it inside.
Yeah.
Why do you think that he doesn't confess to Dumbledore in this scene? Because obviously he has done nothing wrong.
I think he's still knowing, like Hermione and Ron still have a big influence on him. And so I think they, said, don't say anything about hearing voices. That is not good at any point in the wizarding world. So
How does Hermione know that as well? She says that to him with like such confidence.
Confidence. And she knows I just think it's her book reading. She knows everything, and she loves to be in the know.
She does.
Yeah.
Even if she doesn't know.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think at that point, Harry's just like, I don't know if I should trust the teachers just yet. I'm still getting to know them. I don't know if I should trust Dumbledore. So I think he's still holding on to what she had just said.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, he's holding on until maybe he'll eventually trust Dumbledore. And as we do come to see, he does.
Yeah.
Right?
It's interesting, isn't it, that we kind of think, oh, Dumbledore is this wonderful old man who oversees everything.
Right.
Of course, he's so trustworthy. And, we're kind of like, obviously you can trust the headmaster. But as we learn, Dumbledore is actually not as trustworthy as he seems. So maybe Harry's instincts are correct a little bit.
Yeah.
And also, what I love in this scene, I think Fawkes is one of my favorite magical creatures that we ever meet. And we meet him for the first time here, like on a burning day.
Yeah.
So he's not in like full plumage. He's not at his most beautiful.
Looking a little rough.
Yeah. You see the bond between Dumbledore and Fawkes, but just seeing that little Fawkes like being born out of the ashes, like little baby Fawkes.
Such great puppetry.
Adorable.
Like,
yeah. What do you think about him?
I think perfect for Harry to see him on a burning day, just to get to like he learned so much from that interaction.
Yes,
that's important.
Yeah. Extremely
important to the storytelling. So I think it was a great time to see, the Phoenix in that position. And then obviously, such an integral part, like a creature that really does end up saving him in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I loved that they did practical effects for it. Mm-hmm. It looks believable. It looks real. Also just such a cute, good, gorgeous looking bird. Mm-hmm. And I love that Dumbledore, that's his go-to buddy. Like, that's his dude.
Yeah. And also the fact that they, just like the magical properties of a phoenix are so wild. Like,
I know.
Can carry really heavy objects, also magical healing tears.
Yeah. Not just objects, people. Like, will carry a lot of people and pretty easily, actually.
I know, it's like really random, but just so perfect for this particular like situation that Harry ends up in. So as Christmas arrives, we rejoin Harry, Ron and Hermione doing what they do best, brewing up a plan to solve a mystery.
Yep.
This is the conclusion of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
We'll have exactly 1 hour before we change back into ourselves. Add the hairs.
Ugh. Essence of crab.
Cheers.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Me too.
So the trio carries out their Polyjuice Potion plan, disguising themselves as Crabbe and Goyle, and also Millicent Bulstrode's cat.
I know.
Poor Hermione, wrong hair. What do you think about Hermione's transformation here?
I thought it was so cute.
It's so cute.
I wanted to see more of it, actually, because I felt like it was, but she felt so shy about it, and loved that it was, again, another practical like makeup, and it wasn't CGI and anything like that.
Apparently they tried loads of different kinds of cats, and there was like a really cute ginger one, but they thought that was too pretty.
Oh, too pretty.
Yeah, they were like, it needs to be a bit kind of like a bit more uncanny.
Yeah, a little disturbing.
Yes.
And that's the thing, imagine being transformed into an animal. Like, what a human feels like, but what is it feeling like turning into an animal feel like? I feel like that would be really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I sympathize with her a lot there.
So Harry and Ron go on, they fool Draco, and they learn that the last time the Chamber of Secrets was opened, 50 years ago, a Muggle-born student died, and now it appears that it might be happening again. So a while after Hermione's furry debacle, the boys find themselves on their own in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. Harry picks up a blank diary that immediately starts writing him back. That's such an obvious red flag.
Right, but don't you feel like that's part of being a Gryffindor? Like, you're going to go for the risk-taking. You're going to go for the craziest thing you could do, right? And I remember in the books, it was a little bit more like there was more conversation with Tom. He was a bit friendlier, like more open-sounding. And I feel like they made it really ominous in this film, which I actually liked. Because it really held on, like it really carried through the mystery of like what this book was doing.
Yes, and I think at this stage, we have absolutely no idea who this is.
Right. Never heard of them.
No.
Right.
Me and my friends always do the impression of Daniel Radcliffe writing in the diary.
Okay.
Like, do you know anything about the Chamber of Secrets? And it's just so like... So the diary pulls Harry into a memory from 50 years ago where we meet teenage Tom Riddle. Very handsome.
Very handsome.
He has a badge, so I can't remember if he's the prefect or the head boy. So we know that he has some sort of social standing. He gets a young Hagrid expelled from Hogwarts for opening the chamber, and he walks away looking suspiciously pleased with himself. Back in the present, things escalate quickly. Quidditch is cancelled. You can't cancel Quidditch. This is Wood. Love Wood. He's only have one thing on his mind, and it's always Quidditch. Riddle's sus diary is nicked, and Hermione is found petrified, holding a mirror. So then Harry and Ron visit Hagrid in search of answers. While they're there, Hagrid is unjustly accused of being involved yet again by the Minister of Magic, the first time that we meet Cornelius Fudge, and is taken away, but not before telling the boys to follow the spiders. And to top it all off, Daddy Malfoy shows up and gets Dumbledore suspended. So Harry and Ron take Hagrid's advice to follow the spiders into the Forbidden Forest. For future reference, guys, just don't do that.
Don't do it.
Just don't. Whatever Hagrid tells you to do in the Forbidden Forest, just don't.
I think after what happens, I think they have hopefully learned from that.
They go back in, with Grawp, they have to go back in with, the midnight detention in the first film, they go in.
Yeah.
Never ends
And
well.
Hagrid should know better.
He should.
What's upsetting. It's I feel like he should know better.
Everything is, falling apart now.
Mm-hmm.
Hermione is out of the picture.
Yeah.
And we talked before, she's kind of like the glue that holds everything together. So without her, what is happening to Harry and Ron?
Well, I think they're trying to continue what Hermione has done. I think they're really in a spot where at this point they just are too far in. They have to continue searching. They have to continue following this. Maybe they're laxing a little bit, but they do eventually pick up on clues, and that it's still at the top of their mind, I think.
Yeah, I really love that Ron is follow the spiders. Why can't it be follow the butterflies?
I agree with him.
And it's such a good point. But then in Hogwarts Legacy, the game, they take follow the butterflies and make that its own quest.
I love that.
Which is such a great, it's literally one throwaway line from the film.
But it's stuck
around. And it turns into a whole thing in the game.
So great.
Genius. In the forest, they meet Aragog, who confirms Hagrid's innocence and reveals that a girl died in the bathroom the last time the chamber was opened. After being so helpful and informative, Aragog and his hundreds of children try to kill the boys anyway, because an acromantula's got to eat, right?
Right.
Harry and Ron escape thanks to their feral Ford Anglia coming to the rescue. Would you have followed the spiders? Are you afraid of spiders?
I'm afraid of any bug-related thing.
Are you?
So actually, this movie is really tough because with the slugs, coming at that triggers me. I think any swarm of bugs, period, is very triggering or scary for me. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. But I will say, I would have done it. I just wouldn't have enjoyed it.
No, you would have had Ron's facial expression the whole time.
I related to him 100%.
I do think it is such a terrifying part of the film.
It is.
It's one that when you see it young, I think it stays with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And to think, if they didn't have the car there, what would they have done?
Well, we don't want to think about that outcome.
No.
Back in the hospital wing, the boys find a torn library page in Hermione's petrified hand. We know it's serious of Hermione's destroying school property. Mm-hmm. And they use her clue to identify the monster in the walls of Hogwarts as a basilisk. And then to top it all off, Ginny Weasley has been kidnapped and taken into the chamber. Really not good. Harry and Ron's mission escalates from mystery solving to life-saving search and rescue. And for some inexplicable reason, their fraud of a defence against the dark arts teacher, Professor Lockhart, is tasked with leading the mission. Why do you think they allowed Lockhart to lead this? Especially McGonagall and Snape.
I know. And they were so sassy about it too, the way that they said it. They're like, well, you're so smart. Why don't you go do it? But I think it was to get him out of the way.
Yeah.
I think he was getting really annoying. And they were like, you go do that. And maybe hoping he would die. I don't know.
Oh my God, that's so dark.
It's very dark. But I don't think it was that. I just think they were like, get this guy to do his own thing. And maybe they didn't think he would even do it. They were like, oh, this guy's going to bail.
Yeah. Which they were right about. Mm-hmm. But also, what were they doing?
I don't know.
We don't see them do anything.
They were managing the students, probably trying to figure out, do we close the school? At that point, it was
What about Ginny? Where's Dumbledore at this point?
I know. Yeah, maybe he was away trying to figure out a way to save Ginny, or that is a good question.
Harry and Ron attempt to help, as usual, but learn that Lockhart is indeed a fraud who's been stealing other people's achievements and erasing their memories. Down in the plumbing, Lockhart tries to silence the boys as well, but accidentally obliviates himself due to Ron's backfiring wand. He collapses the tunnel and is trapped along with Ron among the rubble, leading to, I think, my favourite exchange of the whole film.
Ron, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Hello. Who are you?
Ron Weasley.
Really? And, who am I?
Lockhart's memory charm backfired. He hasn't got a clue who he is.
It's an odd sort of place, this, isn't it? Do you live here?
No.
Really?
Honestly, I love the banter, and it's in like such a dire situation, and it just makes me laugh every time. His delivery. Do you live here?
Does he live here? He's completely oblivious.
He is completely oblivious. And I really like they've set up that it's not just like Ron's spells go awry with this terrible broken wand, is that they literally backfire.
Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a really kind of smart way that they seed that in throughout the film.
The story. Mm-hmm.
So separated from Lockhart and Ron, Harry goes on alone. In the chamber, he finds Ginny barely alive, with Tom Riddle kind of lurking nearby. Anagram fan Tom Marvolo Riddle reveals he's Voldemort's teenage diary ghost who's been possessing Ginny all year, and that the chamber is basically his long con, 50 years in the making. The basilisk attacks. Very slithery, bad vibes. Just when things are looking truly dire, Dumbledore's Phoenix, Fawkes, comes to the rescue, blinds the basilisk, and the Sorting Hat coughs up the sword of Gryffindor. Great timing. Harry goes into hero mode as he kills the monster in his epic showdown. He's stabbed, he's then healed by Phoenix Tears, and then swiftly destroys the diary with the Basilisk Fang, wiping away the memory of Teen Voldy. But little does Harry know, he's also destroying his first Horcrux.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, what a moment.
What a big deal. Do you find it satisfying the way that this particular Horcrux is destroyed? Because obviously the way they're destroyed each time is kind of
different,
iconic in its own right. Yeah.
I think when Harry is stabbing the diary with the fang, you know, we see all this blood gushing out, and I think that's super dramatic, but it's not actually blood, it's ink from the diary.
Of course, the Ginny and Harry have been feeding into it.
Exactly, but that makes it even more dramatic. Yeah. And then we of course see Tom, and he's bursting all those lights.
Yes.
You know, everything that he stabs in the diary reflects as like a piercing light beaming from his body, which I thought was really cool.
What's also amazing is that the ink that's coming out of the diary is real ink, as in like there were capsules that he was stabbing that were bursting and kind of like flooding out.
Yeah, and it had that effect. Like it really, like it sold the whole thing. I thought it was epic. I think it was his in desperation, like trying to save Ginny and himself. It was a very powerful moment. I think they did a good job representing it too in the film. Like the way that I had envisioned it when I was reading was the same.
Yes.
So I like that.
Okay, so back in the headmaster's office, Harry is still struggling with his identity crisis. Dumbledore casually informs Harry that he's got a bit of Voldemort living inside him. Mm-hmm. To soften the blow, Dumbledore also imparts some words of wisdom. It's not our abilities, but our choices that truly define us.
Yeah.
Weighty.
Iconic line.
Yeah. And with that, Harry's got his groove back, apparently. In one final parting shot, Harry outsmarts Daddy Malfoy and frees Dobby with a sock.
Epic way to do it. Just here's a book and here it's incredible. Yeah, love that moment.
In the end, the petrified students are revived by Professor Sprout's mandrakes, Hagrid returns, and Hogwarts pretends that this is all just like a really super normal way to end the school year.
Right.
Which I guess maybe for Hogwarts it is.
It is. I mean, maybe they've experienced this the past 50 years. I don't know. But yeah, wild.
Okay, we get some great performances. We get some great scenes. We meet new people. Mm-hmm. What kind of stands out for you in this second half of the Chamber of Secrets?
I think because this is Richard Harris's final time as Dumbledore, I have to give it to him.
Kind of pay tribute to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. He is, I mean, he's kind of like exactly like the Dumbledore.
Yeah, it has to be him.
Kind of has lifted off the page.
Yeah.
I also love that we meet Cornelius Fudge, although where is his lime green bowler hat?
I don't know.
He has a ponytail.
Right.
In this, which obviously we've got rid of by the third film. Mm-hmm. No lime green bowler hat. Maybe that will be coming in the series that he keeps spinning, because I kind of like that he has this nervous tick. We do get more from Cornelius Fudge in later films. I also, that classic Draco's line to Goyle. I didn't know you could read.
I didn't know you could read. So good.
It's just like, so it just kind of sums up everything about their relationship, I think.
Yeah. I do like when Dumbledore says to Hagrid, he's like, Hagrid, relax. Like, I love that part.
Yeah.
I felt like that was a side of Dumbledore we hadn't seen yet. Just him being like kind of, normal and funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and Hagrid like comes storming in. He's like, it couldn't have been Harry.
Right.
Like, he's just so sweet and like so defensive over
Right.
Harry. Yeah. So, and also, can you believe actually that the trio ever thought that Hagrid would have been capable of imparting such like destruction upon the castle?
No, because to me, he's just personified as like this very humble, gentle giant, sort of guy. And
Gentle
I think
half giant.
That's right. So yeah, I think he needs to re-examine how he like handles he sends them off on things where I'm like, Hagrid, any adult would have not done this.
Yeah, absolutely. Chamber of Secrets introduces us to Dobby. So love him or hate him, we're required to discuss, is Dobby actually helpful? Like, do any of his plans actually come off? Does he help Harry in any way?
It depends how you look at it. I think obviously we know his intentions are good, but I do think he puts Harry in some hairy situations.
Yeah, like, is it more Harry or is it more Dobby? Like, would Harry just found himself there anyway?
Right, exactly. And I keep holding on to this fact, which is if Dobby hadn't stopped them from getting on platform 9 3/4, they wouldn't have had the car to save them from Aragog.
Oh my god, that's so true.
So I just think like that's, to me, means that whatever Dobby did, chaotic or not, it did save him and Ron.
Do you know what? I had never thought about that before, and you've absolutely convinced me.
Right. Well, there you go.
That's such a good point.
So points for Dobby and Hufflepuff.
And also, like we were saying earlier about Dobby's kind of character arc. I mean, we will talk about this definitely in later episodes.
Right.
But he will always try and come to Harry's rescue.
Oh, yeah.
And, Harry can ask him absolutely anything and he will do it in a heartbeat. Even to the point of sacrificing his own life for Harry.
There's so many different things. Dobby's such an interesting and like complex character.
He really is. And I think, like I said, when you first meet him, I'm like, oh God, he's actually quite irritating.
Right.
Because it would be irritating to have somebody just, keep telling you how like wonderful and special you are. Like, that's too much.
Right.
You're like, take it down a notch. But equally, the emotional roller coaster that we go on, I've never cried so much, I don't think, in a book as when I read about Dobby's death. Like, I think almost more than any other character.
Oh man. Yeah.
So like, I was there.
I know, you were feeling it.
I was really feeling it. If you had Dobby to protect you,
yes,
would you feel comforted or would you feel slightly terrified?
I'd be a little scared. I'll have to. Yeah, because the other thing about Harry is he's very lucky. I'm not that lucky. So I think it would be a bad situation. And I would be stressed out. I would be really stressed out, truly. What about you?
I don't think I would cope well with all the the pain, the broken bones.
Oh, yeah.
That would come.
Or no bones.
From this. Or no bones. I don't think I would cope with no bones. Okay, it's time for Owl Post. We've got an owl from a fellow Potter fan. This is such an interesting one. You ready?
I'm ready.
This is a hot take from Angela P. from New York. Moaning Myrtle... Can't even read this, sorry. Moaning Myrtle doesn't deserve our sympathy.
What?
She's described as having been a sensitive, lonely student who was often teased and resulted in her always crying in the bathroom. But this is not the Myrtle that we meet as a ghost. Sure, she's still crying all the time, but she also has crazy mood swings, is always complaining, and she's just honestly pretty rude to everyone, except Harry, who she fancies.
She fancies, yeah.
And I get that she might be kind of bitter about being a ghost, but if she was anything like her ghost persona in real life, I understand why her classmates didn't like her. She does not pass the vibe check, and honestly seems like a real nightmare to have hanging around, both in life and in death.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't think I agree. I don't think I agree.
Poor Myrtle.
Poor Myrtle. And she died so young.
She's so young.
It's wild to say that about someone who's, maybe figuring out life, and that's maybe why she didn't fit in.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would be upset about being a ghost. I wouldn't want, and she fancies people she could never really have a relationship with. That's a little sad.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree.
It's all unrequited, and I mean, we kind of get a bit more Myrtle development later in the series, and she develops another crush.
Right.
But also, I feel like she is bullied, and that's why she's crying in the toilets. You know
That's
who
right.
else did that? Hermione.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, can you imagine if at that point a basilisk had come out and killed Hermione? And then Hermione would have just been stuck as like an 11-year-old haunting a Hogwarts toilet.
Yeah.
Equally.
She would have been stuck with Myrtle.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, now I'm like, oh no, poor Hermione. So maybe I do hate Myrtle.
Know. Maybe we have a different, maybe
my goodness.
Looking at that perspective. But I do think Myrtle gets a bad rap. I also think that she is who she is, and that's okay. She hasn't found her people yet. You know?
Oh, when will she ever?
I don't know. But I relate to not being like fitting in and to being bullied. And the bathroom's not a good place to hang out in general. So to be stuck there for life, although she does like sneak over to like.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
She
the prefects,
sneaks a lot.
she's known to go check, spy on them.
Oh, she spies on Cedric Diggory.
When you have nothing else to do.
Arrested Development at like 13,
Absolutely.
14. That's what you're thinking about, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking about the people that you fancy, the people you have crushes on. And she never moves past that. Her language, the way that she expresses herself is so emotional.
Yeah.
Because she just has never had the chance to grow up.
That's right. She's still in the sense of like trying to figure herself out, and she's it might come off as self-centered and rude, which her tone could use a little bit of work. But I think overall, like, this is a young kid who died very young in a tragic way. I don't think we should be too hard on her.
I agree.
Yeah.
And also, if you go to the toilets at Universal Studios, you
That's right.
You can hear Myrtle.
It's a little shocking at first when you realize, and you're like, oh yeah.
You're on the loo and you're like, oh my goodness, is there someone in there with me?
Right.
Oh, it's just Myrtle.
Yeah, I secretly wish she would just like pop her head through my stall and be like, hey.
Anyway, Angela, we think that you're mean.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. Let's revisit. Yeah, hot take. Let's try a different approach.
We want to hear from you. Keep an eye on our socials at Harry Potter for your chance to send in your favourite moments, your burning questions, and of course your hottest takes, even if they are cruel like that one.
So the Sorting Hat was right. I should be in Slytherin.
It's true, Harry. You possess many of the qualities that Voldemort himself prizes. Determination, resourcefulness, and if I may say so, a certain disregard for the rules. Why then did the Sorting Hat place you in Gryffindor?
Because I asked it to.
Exactly, Harry, exactly. Which makes you different from Voldemort. It is not our abilities that show what we truly are. It is our choices.
We mentioned Dumbledore's iconic abilities and choices line earlier, and obviously it resonates a lot with people, and everyone has to make choices, but in Chamber of Secrets a few characters make some extremely questionable ones, like even little Ginny Weasley, right?
Yeah,
you expect it from the big uns, but even little Ginny. So why do you think that she stays silent when she thinks she's kind of suspicious of herself being the one who did all of these awful things?
I think it's tough. I think she's young. I think anyone who's 11 years old and going through something like that doesn't really know how to speak up. Maybe she hasn't learned to do that yet. And I think there's another element where in her mind, she kind of thinks like she's going crazy, and I remember that being very emphasized in the book, and they show it in this movie as well. Like, there is a part of her that is like, am I losing my mind?
Yeah.
Right? I think she's trying to work up the courage.
Because you can imagine, like, Mrs. Weasley is very, like, no nonsense.
Right.
And she always has so much going on. And the boys kind of have each other. I guess the closest one to her is Ron.
Yeah.
You don't see them have, like, a super close relationship.
Right.
So maybe they're both kind of a bit isolated out on their own. And we don't see her, like, find her true friends until, like, maybe later in the series.
That's right.
So maybe she is, like you were talking about, like, being that one, definitely when I first started school, like, didn't have any friends, really wouldn't really have anyone to talk to.
Afraid of saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think actually it's probably quite realistic that she would stay quiet. So interesting. And then let's talk about Lockhart, because Gilderoy chooses fame over integrity time and again.
Yeah.
And it's that constant kind of battle that we see throughout about, like, is somebody evil, or are they just, like, out for themselves? Are they just cowardly? Are they just interested in this particular strain of magic? So what do you think about him? Where is the line for Lockhart?
I don't know if he has a line. I don't know. I think he goes whatever benefits him,
Yes.
whatever makes him look the best.
Very self-serving.
And I think it all stems from we don't know much about his upbringing, So I'm one to say evil. Yes, but I don't know. He's definitely doing it intentionally, because he admits that he's been trying to capitalize on other people's, heroic moments.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a part of Lockhart that he can't help himself. Like he just continually needs to, it's like a beast that can never be satisfied.
Yes,
Like
that's
he's
a really good way
always
of putting
having to
it.
feed it more and more attention,
Yes.
more and more adoration. And intelligence was maybe something that he latched onto as like something he could use to leverage for his own personal gain.
Yeah, that's a really good point. But
Thank you.
what I don't get is why Dumbledore would hire him. And it's not Dumbledore's first time, like, making a questionable teacher hire.
And I think he definitely knows that Lockhart's a fraud. Everyone knows.
I wonder if he just thinks that he's exaggerated a lot, but maybe he thinks that actually at the heart of it, he has done a lot of this stuff.
You think he truly believes it?
Maybe he does, because I just don't think how you could, with any integrity, bring somebody into the school
Right.
that has lied about their credentials in
Right.
that way. Because because he wasn't going to hire Sybil Trelawney thinking that she was a fraud, and then actually hears her prophecy and
Yeah.
realizes that that was at least real, and that's why he hires her. So I think he must think there's a grain of truth in what Gilderoy is saying. Also, by the way, I love the amount of like Gilderoy Lockhart iconography that he has in his own space.
Yeah.
Like he has all of these portraits of himself in different positions, and they're all like wearing like their own, like curling their hair,
Yeah.
and they're just so brilliantly vain, all of them.
He's so wild. He brought a painting of himself to the class that he's teaching.
Multiple yes, but that
paintings.
particular one of him, like, is he even like painting a picture of himself within the portrait?
Yes. Wild. That
It's
guy's wild.
excellent.
Yeah, it's the perfect encapsulate.
Yeah.
Like it encapsulates this character perfectly.
What I never really think about is that if they are doing, he has all of those portraits of himself, is that Kenneth Branagh must have had to film all of those different shots.
All of them. You're right. Well, I'm sure he loved it. All the costumes. Again,
That's so much fun.
this film really like upped the fashion element
you're
of
right.
this
Yeah.
like of the series. I really think that incredible all the way around, and I love that Kenneth just brought this little brought him to life so perfectly.
Now, finally, Lucius.
Yeah.
He makes some very questionable decisions and choices all the way through. But one, which I feel like nobody talks that much about, is right at the end when he realises that Harry has cost him his house elf,
Yeah.
that he's freed Dobby. He goes to curse Harry.
Yep.
And it sounds like he's about to say, Avada Kedavra.
Yes, he was 100%
He goes,
about to say
Avada, and then Dobby gets in there. Was he really about to try and kill Harry in front of Dumbledore's office in Hogwarts?
I think 100%.
Do you really think that?
I think impulsive decision. Lucius Malfoy was about to kill Harry in front of Dumbledore's office on school grounds. in
He's a
front of Dobby.
governor. He's
I
a
know.
school governor.
I know, but he only does it for malicious reasons.
Sure.
So I think that's not his priority. Like he's out to get Harry.
No, I just find
Crazy.
that so messed up.
I know. That would have been a tragic end, but I'm glad I'm glad Dobby was there. Another reason.
Why was Dobby there? He's supposed to be a house elf. Why wasn't he in the house?
My answer to that is just that, yeah, he's a house elf, but he also helps him run errands. That's a good explanation, I think.
I'll
Is it
take it
not?
for now. What's so great about the Chamber of Secrets is there are so many examples of how they use like prosthetics and makeup and practical effects to create not just like amazing creatures, but also like the way that they transfigure some of the characters. So like obviously Hermione turning into a cat, that was all practical effects, which I just find so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine how long it was to put all of that on.
Yeah.
And what it looked like in person.
Yeah.
Like,
Do
I'd
you want
imagine-
to like touch the face?
Right.
Like stroke it?
Like, is it soft? Can I pet it?
I don't think it wasn't actually Emma Watson. It was like her body double.
Yeah, that's right.
Because she was allergic to the glue.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long wait in the chair, so I guess it helped her in the end. Like,
Yeah, potentially. And also, the petrified students. So Nick Dudman basically created like these life casts
whoa.
of the actors.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so detailed, which makes it kind of really uncanny.
Very uncanny. I remember seeing it for the first time in theater and thinking, like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Like, it looked so real. And even now, like, looking back, I was like, wow, yeah, that is an exact copy of Hermione, like, just in this position.
They probably like 3D print it now.
Right. I don't know what they would do. Yeah, you're right.
Do you know
They
what I
might
mean?
do it like that.
with technology moving on, but I think that's like all of this craft took such a long time.
Yeah.
It was just hours and hours of just like sticking things together
Yeah.
and painting things, and yet we get these incredibly like realistic beautiful props and effects
Yeah.
throughout. I was so lucky. I got to speak to Nick Dudman, who is the creature and makeup effects designer. So he was the one that basically brought these iconic creatures and the polyjuice transformations to life. So let's see what he had to say. Nick Dudman, welcome to Harry Potter, the official film podcast. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Now, Chamber of Secrets, I feel, really expands the magical universe, especially when it comes to creatures. We have mandrakes, we have Aragog, terrifying. We have a polyjuice mishap. We have a 60-foot basilisk. So which challenge out of all of those excited you the most?
Oh, I think of all of them, it was probably Aragog, primarily because I hate spiders. And I really hate spiders. And I thought it was an interesting challenge to attempt to get the effect that you have as an emotional reaction to a real spider. And I didn't know if we could achieve that or not mechanically. But the idea was that the Aragog puppet, and puppet's quite a simple term for what we actually built, because this was a giant spider with an 18-foot leg span. And it was on a sort of seesaw with a huge weight, a counterweight at the other end, under the ground, on tracks. So this could be wheeled in, and then if you push down at one end, it comes up at the other. And all the mechanical legs had to be able to come out of the hole. It was a complex thing. It took about 20 people to operate. And underneath there's TV screens and people are moving things about. And if somebody was in charge of a particular leg, they had a leg down there, so metal leg, and whatever that metal leg did, the hairy leg outside did in reverse. And it was a joy to do. I mean, whenever you make something that is patently unreal, it's pretend, it's fake, it's not real. And then you put somebody in front of it and you operate it and they freak out as if the thing is real. You know, if somebody reacts to it as though it's an animal, as opposed to a mechanism, you know you've succeeded.
Do any of these creatures ever feel real, or in either kind of anthropomorphic or otherwise? Do you attribute personalities to them when you're working on them?
Oh, yes. Usually it's extremely bad language because it's not doing what you think it should do. I found myself talking to a creature when I should be turning around and talking to the operator who's behind me at a desk on a computer, but you somehow find yourself dealing with the character rather than the machinery.
It's such an interesting point, the kind of the Harry Potter series as a whole, but especially with Chamber of Secrets, I suppose, because there were so many of these practical effects, but CGI coming in, you kind of found yourself at that intersection of visual effects, special effects and camera effects. So how did that impact your job? Did you have to persuade Chris Columbus to go in a certain way that you preferred working in, or were you happy to experiment with both? How did it work?
Well, it was kind of organic because it had been going on movies I'd worked on before the Potter series. But because the Potter series was like a 10-year project, you really did see things through from A to Z. I always remember with Chris Columbus, he had a very good attitude to things because you could say, oh, we could do that for practically, we could do that for real. I proposed that you could shoot all Robbie's close-ups on Robbie, but where you had big shots, things, it's like half the cast are only 4 feet tall. You know, I mean, they're all little kids.
Yeah, they're tiny.
So why not put somebody in a great big scaled up Hagrid suit? Because you're actually filming the children. You're only filming the lower half of this character. And it can all be done for real, you know, as practical shots.
I love that. Now I want to talk, because we're talking about Chamber of Secrets.
Yes.
We have to mention Dobby, who of course appears on screen as a CG character, but he did start off as a sculpture, is that right? So can you tell us about the evolution of Dobby?
What we started with was a series of concepts of Dobby, which I think Rob Bliss did. And you look at them and the first question you go to is, could this be a Yoda puppet? Could this be digital? What makes sense? Which then leads you down the path of, well, what does it have to do? What interaction is there? And talking about it, we decided, all of us, that it should be digital. There was simply the restrictions of doing it as a puppet would be a nightmare. And especially, you're performing with a young lad, and there was a lot about it that was like, no, we need more control. So we had the two-dimensional drawings. Then one of my sculptors, Kate Hill, did a 3D version of it, sort of head and shoulders, and then built a complete body as a discussion point, because at that point, a lot of things that were going to end up digitally were created physically as objects for discussion purposes and for everyone to sign off on. In the end, we had Dobby dummies and, all sorts of things. But the actual performance, is completely digital, led, by visual effects.
When you were talking earlier about, the different stages that you have of building a creature, I was just thinking about what was the research phase like for something that you're terrified of, i.e. a spider? How do you sort of research it almost like with your eyes shut? You're like, oh God, I have to immerse myself into this particular phase.
Yeah. In any makeup thing, from I've got to put a bullet wound on somebody.
Yeah.
You have to look up what a real bullet wound looks like. It's not nice. You'll open a reference book and you'll take a peek and you'll go, okay, and then you won't look at it again. You're also looking for character. So yes, you've got to, in the case of Aragog, you've got to, what kind of spider? What kind of real spider should we base it on? What are the things, what spider behaves kind of the way we want, all of that. Then it's a character. It delivers dialogue. If you look at the mouth parts of a spider, it just makes no sense at all in terms of this is not going to lip sync, So how do you convey the suggestion that the voice is actually, and the face is moving? It's why we moved all the hair on the face and these great big mandible things in front, pedipalps, I think they were, in the front. They all move in different ways. And it was simply, let's move them to see if when you play the sound, I'm believing it's coming from there, even though there's no logic to it at all. So there was a lot of research for that, sort of we had a big spider head, we built it, and it's all trial and error because everything you build, whether it's a basilisk or a Aragog or whatever the hell, mandrakes, everything is a prototype, everything. That sort of thing of, do you know how to do this? Yes, but do bear in mind it'll be the first one we've ever built.
Do you have a favourite stage of the whole thing, whether it's researching, developing, the building, or even the filming stage? Which is the one that you get the most job satisfaction out of?
I think there's two stages. One is when you first put something together and you look at it and then you look at each other and you just go, oh God, this is working. You build a fire-breathing dragon in a cage and you decide you're going to set this off in the car park at night. And John Richardson, the special effects guy, has rigged it up with a propane tank. And none of us really know how it's going to go. And it's that first moment when something happens, and in that case, a ball of flame 40 feet across, where you just go, yep, that works. The other stage, when it's really lovely, is when you're just standing there on set and you just see at the first take where everything falls into place. Because any of these fake things, they only work if there's actors in the frame reacting to them as if they're real. And when you get a fab performance from someone involving or bringing in one of the things you've built, that is lovely. When we did the puppet of Fawkes, the Phoenix, standing on his perch in Dumbledore's office, Richard Harris came over at lunchtime. We were just fiddling with it and just said, are you in charge of this? And I said, yeah. And he said, it's amazing. I don't know how you train them. And myself and my chief engineer went, it's a puppet. And I can't repeat the actual language he used.
I love that so much. Richard Harris, what a legend. I have to ask you quickly about the basilisk as well, because I remember reading about the basilisk and being so terrified by it just on the page, and then seeing it come to life in the way that it does at the end of Chamber of Secrets and seeing Harry fighting it. I mean, it's such a realistic, terrifying fight. So can you tell us about the kind of practicalities when it came to creating something that had to look so enormous and designing it so that it would still terrify everybody who came across it?
Well, the first brief was the fact that for any scene, any shots where it's slithering all over the place, it will be digital, for which be very grateful. Okay? Because when you start building big things, the laws of physics get in the way of what you'd like to do big time. So myself and John Richardson, we sat down and we talked about what it physically had to do. How big would it be? And worked it out. Then we just had to figure out, okay, we need a tail section because we have to be able to drag that through the set. And then we mounted the same rig we'd used for Aragog, this massive seesaw thing. And then we mounted it all up on this, basically, machine. It was made of step ladders. The thing I remember was John Richardson looking at it. And this is a guy who, he sunk the Titanic. He blew he'd blown up everything, And he just looked, he said, I think that might be under-engineered, And I said, why? He said, because I think it's bending.
Oh, no.
And this thing's on a track. We've got Martin Bayfield, because he was there
Massive.
and he was huge and he could push this thing. And we stood there and we realized what we were doing was taking a thing that weighed over a ton, lined with sharp plastic teeth, and we were pushing it down a ramp at a 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy armed with a plastic sword. And if we didn't manage to stop it, we were just going to push him straight through the wall of the set. And I mean, he loved it.
Of course
what
did.
kid wouldn't? He had a great time with it. It needed a very big team to do it. But it was one of those things where you had a perfect combo of digital effects, practical effects, edited really well, shot in a complementary way for the different processes. So you get a great sequence out of it.
It's cool. I mean, it is one of the best sequences. I love it so much. And it is still terrifying to this day, which I think is so much down to the practicality of it. And finally, because Harry Potter has had such a lasting cultural impact, how do you reflect now on your role with bringing so much of the magic to life for so many people?
I knew at the time when I read the first book that if they were going to make a movie out of this, I would love to be involved because the story was just so fab and there were so many lovely things to make. When I got involved in it and we were finishing the first one and suddenly they're going to shoot the second one, you realized this isn't just a successful book. This is going to build into something very big and the momentum is not going to stop. But at the time there was this sense, I might never work on anything quite as special as this again. And I've worked on some lovely movies, both before and afterwards, and some of them very special to me indeed. But there was something about the Potter thing where you had a sense that almost sort of cinematic history was happening. This was different. This was something that was going to stand the test of time. It was a unique moment in my career and in the career of lots of people. I had 10 years to train people to do makeup effects to a certain level, most of whom are now running their own shows out there. We had a training ground for 10 years that was just fantastic, and every department had that. It helped the industry dramatically, in my view.
Nick Dudman, thank you so much for joining us. You've been an absolute dream. Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure.
It's time for some trivia. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. This is a really easy one. Apart from Gilderoy Lockhart, which Hogwarts staff members do we see for the first time in Chamber of Secrets?
There's Professor Sprout.
Yes. Give you half a point for that.
Half a point? Not even 10 points. Oh my gosh, who's the second one?
Not necessarily a teacher, but a staff member.
Mr. Filch? No, he was there.
He was there in the beginning.
Yeah, he was there.
It was Madame Pomfrey.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yes.
I thought she was in the first one.
She was not.
No, you're right.
She
Madame
has
Pomfrey.
to
Poppy.
administer
Oh.
Skelegro.
Okay,
to
yeah,
kill
the
Harry.
Skelegro, which I am keeping handy if ever I go to Hogwarts, because I
Good
do not
plan.
want to lose my bones.
Okay, what scene made Daniel and Rupert completely crack up between takes? And actually, Rupert, I think, got told off by Chris Columbus
Oh.
quite a lot for this. Was it A, a prank involving a magical creature? Was it B, Chris Columbus throwing them off with unexpected cues? Or was it C, shooting the bathroom scene with Moaning Myrtle?
The bathroom scene with Moaning
was.
Myrtle. Oh.
I can imagine just like having Shirley Henderson there, like screaming in your face.
Yeah, she's funny.
I don't think I would have been able to keep a straight face myself.
She's so funny in that film. Yeah, I agree. And also just being in a bathroom, like, it's just, that's
Yeah.
comical.
Harry hears the disembodied voice of the basilisk twice in the film. Where is he the first time he hears it?
Lockhart's office?
Yes.
Yeah.
In detention with Lockhart.
Yeah, that's right. Signing his books
His fan
or
mail.
his fan mail, yeah.
So vain. What is the first spell that Lockhart tries on the Cornish pixies before demonstrating that he should not, in fact, be teaching?
What a horrible thing to also do to students, to like let a cage loose of Cornish pixies. I'm gonna mess this up the first time, I think. So pesky pisky pestronomy.
Oh my god, you nailed that!
Thank you.
That was very good.
I don't know if I could say it sounding cool, but yeah, it was that. And I remember it because, again, Nomi is like a nickname of mine. So pestronomy.
That's really, really good. I'm
you.
so impressed. I could never even try and utter that, to be honest. After taking the polyjuice potion, who does Ron have the pleasure of turning into?
Oh, Crab.
It is Crab.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Almost 100%.
Except for, I was missing. I can't believe. I love Poppy. Like, I think she's so adorable. Even though she can be stern.
Yeah.
I think I like her character a lot.
Like all of them, actually. I think you just need that to be a teacher.
Yeah. Agreed.
And especially if you have, I like that she tells Draco off.
I know.
Just complaining.
Yeah.
Just like, grow up. All right, I'm going to give you 15 points for Hufflepuff.
Oh, thank you.
I just like throw them out randomly. Or should I just do a
That's what
Dumbledore and just
Dumbledore
give
is
you like
anyway.
300 points? If any of you out there would like to try your hand at trivia, you can visit harrypotter.com/quiz to test your knowledge and see if you can best Naomi. And as if by magic, the trolley full of sweets has appeared. So before we go, I want to reward your wildest theory with the sweetest of treats from the trolley.
Well, it's pretty wild.
Go on.
All right. So we don't know how Harry, just by luck, he knew to stab the diary at the end. And there's no way to explain that. So in my mind, this is just a crazy wild theory that I've come up with.
Okay.
That when Harry's mother sacrificed herself for him, she imbued him with luck. And thereby he's lucky, just naturally.
Wait, so you're saying that Harry has got some sort of like Felix Felicis just running through his veins?
Yep.
And that's why he knows how to do certain things?
Or not that he knows, but that the exact right thing happens.
Okay, so where does instinct come in all of this? Of just like natural instinct?
Right.
Because I feel like the sword is obviously like buried in the basilisk's head, so he can't use that. He has something sharp. It's almost like he knows that Riddler's come from this diary. He knows that he's been like imbuing it with ink. So he kind of instinctually knows he's been feeding it. And one way to destroy something you're feeding is to literally kind of
stab it,
tear it apart.
Yeah.
Which he does. I think it's instinct. I don't think it's luck.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, I didn't say it was a perfect theory.
But I really like the idea of it. Like that it's love and
luck
and a kind of form of protection.
Yes.
But yeah, luck. Interesting. I just feel like there are so many instances where Harry is so unlucky.
That's true. He gets unlucky, but then he also gets extremely lucky. So it's a balance.
I would like to see further evidence. I'm not going to dismiss it out of hand.
Okay.
And for that, I will reward you with something sweet off the trolley. What would you like?
Chocolate frog.
Oh, yeah. They are
go.
incredible.
Gotta go with
Help
it.
yourself.
Thank you.
Can I tell you mine?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to hear.
So this is more a fan theory, and I've heard this like in several places. And again, it relates to the basilisk fang. When Harry was stabbed with the basilisk fang, should that not have destroyed the Horcrux within him? We know that Harry is a Horcrux.
Yeah.
And we know that basilisk fangs destroy Horcruxes.
Right.
And we know that the Phoenix Tears kind of save Harry's physical body. But also, would it not have just destroyed the Horcrux within him?
Would it, maybe because it was attached to the serpent at that point?
No, because it has his poison.
Yeah.
It's still like he was going to die.
Right.
He was going to die. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
The Horcrux should have died then.
Yeah.
This
Unless when it healed him, it
also healed the Horcrux.
The Horcrux, yeah.
Very possibly. Wait, so Fawkes could have just like killed one of the Horcruxes by just letting Harry Potter die?
Maybe.
That's quite a dark theory.
Very dark.
Yeah.
All right, so what are you going to pick from the trolley?
Okay, I really want to try the fudge flies. There's something that really grosses me out about them.
Speaking about, bugs and all those things were a huge part of this film, so it's very fitting.
I feel like Umbridge would choose these. But yeah, I'm going to go for a fudge fly.
Lovely. Well, cheers.
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 Yours would eat mine.
Oh, yeah, I would.
Thank you, Trolley. You've done your job. Evanesco. So that's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, a film that starts with Dobby and ends with Dobby.
Yeah.
Bless him.
We love him.
He deserves it. Naomi, thank you so much for joining me to look back at all of the hidden corridors and secret chambers of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I love going back to that world. I'll do it anytime.
Up next in our series, we revisit Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, where I'll be joined by entertainment journalist and filmmaker Law Sharma. We'll meet up with Harry for the start of third year as his past comes knocking and the clock starts spinning out of control. Join us on our film-by-film look back through the series and rewatch every Harry Potter film on HBO Max. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. Share your thoughts and keep up with the latest from us on social media at Harry Potter. As we make our way through the series, we'll be checking the comments to dissect your burning questions and your hottest takes. Until then, keep an eye on the time and make sure you bring fare for the night bus. Bye, see you next time.
You don't think he comes to Hogwarts, do you?
With Dementors at every entrance.
Dementors. He's already slipped past them once, hasn't he? Who's to say he won't do it again?
That's right. Black could be anywhere. It's like trying to catch smoke. Like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands.
Harry Potter, the official film podcast, is produced by HBO Max in partnership with Pod People. This podcast is hosted by me, Rhianna Dhillon. Our head writer and lead producer is Angela Palladino, and our associate producer is Emily Mansfield. Our line producer and production manager is Hannah Pedersen, casting by Brianna Frapart. Production design done by Liz Klakowski and her team Kevin Fallon, Marcel Banks, Jeff Cross and Amelia Caceres. Our technical director is In-Sung Huang, along with camera operator Nick Gregorio. Hair and makeup by Ali Elizabeth. Production assistance by Sam Sanders IV. Our video editor is Susanna Vasquez and the show is mixed by Carter Wogan and Marina Pais. From the HBO Max podcast team, Alison Cohen-Sorokach, Michael Gluckstadt, Becky Rowe, Kenya Reyes, and Erin Kelly. Special thanks to Emily Brandon and Reese Allgood from the Harry Potter digital team. Thank you for watching and listening, and we will see you next time.